man from Dynamic Strength, and today I'm just going to go over my experience with the Nasm CPT test. I recently passed it. Pretty awesome feeling, I guess. Pretty happy about it. Honestly, the only thing that bothered me when preparing for the test was I would look on YouTube to see other people's experiences with them, and all these people had memorized what was on the test, and I had no idea how the fuck they memorized that, because quite frankly, maybe it was just I was super nervous, but I was pretty nervous, but I can't remember half of the questions to save my life. It's 120 questions for 120 minutes. You know, it's 120 minutes because you're going to finish that shit way before 120 minutes. But it allows you to have a lot of time to be able to go back and, you know, look over what you need or look over any questionable answers that you may have chosen. It was nerve-wracking in the sense that I was the only one there in a very small cubicle setting. So it was pretty intense on that side of things. The one thing that really upset me about the test, and it really didn't upset me, I understand what Nasm does whenever they say they're over-preparing you for the test, because they really are. Like, I'm expecting, you know, overtraining, very scientific wordage. When it comes to the test, there was barely any intense scientific wordage. It was just one thing that you have to know is the difference between lengthening and shortening muscles, overactive and underactive muscles. So shortening is overactive, lengthening is underactive. I only got a couple of those. I got a couple of assessment questions, nothing too out of this world. I got more of not EPOC. I got more of the how to be a trainer, annual income type of stuff, like stages. I got more of the preparation, contemplation, pre-contemplation type questions in my exam. I was definitely nervous. My hand was shaking for some reason, which I don't know why it was shaking. I had studied every single day for months, you know, but it wasn't a bad test. I liked it. I thought it was decent. I was actually quite surprised that I passed it. It wasn't that I didn't know the material, because I knew the material. It was just, I guess, the nervousness and the easiness of the test compared to preparing for the test, and compared to the example exams that they give you, and certain apps on your phone and stuff like that. Compared to all that, the test was super simplified compared to it all. So I kind of like went into this mode where it was like, it seemed too easy. The questions sometimes seemed a little bit too straightforward, that you kind of second guess yourself, but the key is to not second guess yourself, obviously. So just, if you're gonna take the Nasm CPT, don't be nervous about it. Have fun. It's not gonna be the end of the world. You know, if you don't pass this fucking exam, it's not gonna be the end of the world. There's multiple certifications. Yes, Nasm is one of the best certifications when it comes to personal training. There's NCSF. That's another great certification that I've taken. I haven't taken the test, but I took the course. The course was awesome. I definitely want to take the NSCA, but I also want to. My goal for exams is the CSCS, because I'm trying to become a strength coach. So I would love to get into the scientific methodology of all that type of shit. So that's the field that I want to go into. But the Nasm test is a great precursor, and it's more or less a great starting point to exploring this fitness community world. Now, just my key points on how to pass it is just be confident. Don't second guess yourself. Don't think that you're gonna fail. Just study every day. You know, even if it's on the apps, that's what I would do for the most part. I would study the apps, and they were great. It's 450 questions on one of the apps, so you know, you had multiple amounts of questions to gather from. You'd read the book, look over a lot of the charts, especially when it comes to overactive, underactive muscles. Whenever it comes to the assessment, overhead squat assessment, single leg squat assessment, know your assessments. The test, there was a couple of assessment questions, but not as many as some of the other people have, I guess, had, or some of the other types of the tests I've had. I had more of the contemplation stages of all that stuff, and stages on how to be a personal trainer when it comes to income and all that stuff. And there was a couple of scenario questions. So if you had like a client that was over 40 years old or whatever, there was a couple of those. Overall it was a great test. I was nervous about it, but don't be nervous, just have fun. It's a good test. This is inside the rack, by the way. I didn't state that in the beginning, but it was inside the rack, number 6, I think. Number 6. It's nothing crazy. I'm not going to go on the board or talk about methods today, so it was just more or less just going over Nasm CPT. Just hopefully I answered any questions. This was more or less my experience, so I don't know how you guys will do in your experiences, but overall it's not a bad test at all. It's a great certification to get, great exam to get. Just understand that you're going to spend a lot of money to get the certification, so you probably should pass the exam. So I'm Zach, man, from Dynamic Strength, and this is Inside the Rack number 6, Nasm CPT review thingamajigger. Yeah. Oh God.